Hello and welcome this early morning. We are continuing with our online school. We are building an online school web application using Django. And to get started, I'm going to quickly share my screen so that we can continue immediately. Okay, so let's continue while my VS Code boots up. We are trying to develop a web application for an online school using Django. We are using Django. We told us how very good Django is in building web applications, and we're able to using start projects to create a website, and the name of the website is online school. So we use manage.py to run the server, and we look at the school. We also did start app main to run the main app. So those are the things we are able to do, and today we're going to continue by running the Python shell and adding some basic data to the database. We want to add some basic data to the database so that from there we can continue. We've already done an application that uses Python shell to add data to our election poll, where we ask which president are you picking and the rest. So that was the first application we developed. So using the same style, that is what we're going to use to add some basic data to the tutorial and the online app that we are working on. Then afterwards, we can go from the back end and add more data. That would make it more interactive. Okay. So can you see my VS Code now? Is my VS Code visible? Is it visible? Okay. So let's get started immediately. And as we all know, all the codes we are using are on our website. Knowing our website is very, very important, because even when we are not teaching you directly, you can get to the website and get all the codes that you need. And the website we are using now is Tclassified.com. So once you type in Tclassified.com on your browser, you get to this website. Click on blogs. Can you see blogs? Click on it. So once you click on blog, you see a plethora of lectures that we have. Then check the one that we are currently working on, or the one that you are interested in. That's the one you go to, and you see all the codes, the way we use them. So this is the machine learning that we did yesterday. It's stopped there because it is our latest post. So once you get to this blog, you just scroll down. So this machine learning, and this is Django's stack up. So this is the Django that we used in learning for the election polls. Then if you scroll down further, you're going to see the current Django that we are using now. Up is here. This is the one we use for the election polls. So let me check it out. Okay. Okay, so this one we use for the election polls. So currently we are doing the one for online school. I hope it's here. Let me scroll down. So if you check through, you're going to see all the codes that we've written so far. Very well highlighted. Okay. So that is the one we used for the last project that we did, the election polls project. So I'm going to check out the one for this current one. So we have machine learning, Django stack up, the first project. This is our Python class, our initial Python class. This is our Photoshop. This is the WordPress. This is JavaScript. This is PHP, HTML. Okay, so this Tclassified.com, you simply go to blog. All our lectures will be updating it on the blog. Okay, so once you're in blog, you can see I just posted it now. This is Django Online School. This is the script that we're using. This for the machine learning. This for the first initial lecture, Django stack up. I think this was misplaced for this. I just fixed it now. So this for our Python class that we had earlier. This for Photoshop. This for our WordPress, JavaScript, PHP, and the rest. Okay. So I'm gonna go to online, Django Online School, which is the project we are currently working on. Please, can you hear me very well on with earpiece? With earpiece, who is using earpiece? Can you hear me on earpiece? Ola, am I audible?
Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, so let's continue. So this is the Django Online. This is the first one we did. We did people install Django, and because most of us already have Django, so it went easily. And I said, if you want to specifically install a version of Django, this is what you use. We now did Django admin, start project. Our project is online school. I will did start app, main app. I will say that the main app is your primary app. Your online school is your directory for your new application, whereas manage.py is the helper Python script that you use in issuing instructions. Then we did manage.py.run server, which I'm going to quickly do now. So to do that, I will have to cd into my online school, the smaller one. So I say cd into online school, cd into online school. Let him join the classes. You can join the classes, the lesson, while you wait for this one. Then you can go. I'll take care of him when I'm done. Don't worry. I'll call you. Okay, so we are now in online school. So I can simply see Python manage.py run server. We start up the development server so that we can see our website. Okay. So I'll wait for the server to start up. I hope you're following up. Like we said, everything, all the instructions you need, they are already on our website, tclassified.com. Click on blog and search for the topic that is being currently worked on. The scripts are not yet fully updated, but we'll update them from time to time. So as we prepare the lecture, we'll update them. So if you get to them today, you're not able to finish your project with them. Maybe by next week, when you get to the same blog post, it's going to be complete because we are constantly working on it. Okay, so I'll get back. You can see the development server is running now. So I'll just simply copy this HTTP localhost port 8000. This 127.0.0.1 simply means localhost. That was it means. So I'll click open up a new tab and I'm gonna paste it there. So once I paste it, you can see this is an online school web app developed in Django. That's the what we wrote. That's our first view. If you open your view.py, that's what you have there. So we're able to see it because if you open up view.py, this is our view.py. Inside the main view.py, you see that very right up. You can see this is an online school application developed in Django. So I'm going to simply put develop in Django for Tclassified.com. And I say that after this class, we are going to try rebuilding our Tclassified.com website with Django. So if I finish typing and I do Ctrl S, you can see it's still running. So when I get back to the website now and refresh, I can now see this is an online school web app developed in Django for Tclassified.com. So with this, we are just showing a simple view using the word HTTP response. But very soon, we're going to be rendering a template, which is far much better. We render HTML template that will look much more finer and more beautiful than what we have. But our today's job is to use our Python shell to add up some data in our database, isn't it? And that is what we're going to try to do. So I'm going to quickly get back to the website that we're using as our study material. Then I scroll down. All this we did yesterday. We created our first view. And now we also added the app yesterday. So this is where we are. So we run migration. We did make migration and we ran migration. So what we're going to be doing today is Python manage.py shell so that we can start adding up these codes. Is that clear? So I'll simply get back to here. Then I'll open up a new terminal, bash terminal, because my development server is already running on the other terminal, isn't it? So when the new bash terminal opens, what am I going to do? I'm gonna simply say what? I'll CD first into the online school to make sure I'm in the right place. So CD into online school. Okay, yeah, so I'm now in online school. So what do I do now? Good. So to go to shell, what command? Python what? Manage.py shell. You see that you guys are now following up because we've done it over and over. That first day, if you're talking about manage.py, to look as if you're talking something so different. And that's one thing about coding. I told you have to do what? Immerse yourself. Is that what I told you? Immerse. If you want to be good in software development, you have to immerse. You have to try over and over. That's how you become good. You do it only once, it will look very very far from you. But the more you practice it, the more you immerse yourself into the coding, the better it becomes for you. Okay. So what am I going to do next? Who can tell me what I should do next? Next thing will be now to follow the instructions here and put in some data. And the first thing will be to do what? From main.models import tutorial. You know we created the tutorial module. Are you aware? Did we create the tutorial module? So we're going to import it now so that we'll ask to know whether we have anything inside it. Then we'll start adding up. So how do we do that? I simply say what? From main.models import tutorial. That's the first command I'm going to do. So I'll say from main.models import tutorial. From main.model import tutorial. That's the first thing I do. So you can see it has done the importation. It has imported that very tutorial model. So what's the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to ask it, this tutorial object, show me everything that is inside it by simply saying tutorial.objects.all. So call that function. So how do you call it? Tutorial.what? Objects.what? All. You're telling it to give us everything that is inside tutorial. But you know there is nothing inside tutorial. So what is it going to give us? To give us an empty list. Can you see the empty list? This empty list is showing that you've not added anything yet. So I'm going to go back again. So what's the next thing I should put? I should now import time zone from what? Django utils. So I say from Django.utils import time zone because I want to be knowing the date that each thing is added to the tutorial table. So I'll say from Django.utils import time zone. That's the next thing. So I simply say what? From Django.utils. What should I do? Import what? Time zone. That's what I should do. So it has imported from Django.utils. It has imported what? Time zone. From Django.utils import Django. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to now create an object. You understand? From the class tutorial. You understand? And that object, I'm going to add tutorial title. If you open our model, you're going to see what I'm saying now. This is the models for men. You have what? Tutorial title, you have tutorial content, and you have tutorial published, isn't it? So this one is going to add this one automatically. But I want to add the title to be what? Something, and the content to be something. And those things I'm adding are from here. You can see inside tutorial model, I want to add the title to be, isn't it? And I want to add the tutorial content to be what? Not to be. So that is what I'm picking. So I have this very code in notepad fashion. That'll make it easier for me to pick up and not make any mistake. Okay. So if I come down to my shell, this is where I have it. So this is what I have, new tutorial. So I'm going to pick out this, to be or not to be. So once I pick it up, I come here and I put it here. So I'm simply creating a new object known as new tutorial, and it's equal to what? Tutorial. And the tutorial title there is what? To be. And the tutorial content is what? Not to be. But make sure that when you put this, you are going to have error if you don't put quote and close up the bracket. So make sure this is what you have there. So let me still update it here so that I don't make this mistake again. So make sure this is what you have. Once you have this, add. So what this is going to do is that it's going to go to this table. Under tutorial title, it's going to put to be. Then under tutorial content, it's going to put or not to be. You understand? You know, in the previous class, we were adding, if you want to add title, add only title. If you want to add differently, you understand? But this is showing you that you can add the whole of the content of a table at once by simply demarcating them with what? Comma. By simply demarcating with what? Once you state the field name, you put the content, the value of the field, and comma, you put the next thing. So how does it put tutorial publish? Who can tell me how it will put tutorial publish? Because it's not selected here. How does it put it? It's going to put it automatically because you put time zone. You understand? So it's going to put any time that you inserted it. So I'm going to go back again. Okay. So I can even, I think this is a continuation actually. So not to be actually continued and stopped here. You understand? So this is a continuation. So instead of, you know that if you don't do new tutorial underscore save, you know that it will not add it. I hope you know. So even what we've done now is not yet added. I hope you know. So let's add a better one. So when I get here, and I'm going to remove these two because it's actually, this is a continuation of the code. So I'm going to pick from here, rather, get up to here, copy, then get back and put it. Okay. So I'm having a simple error, which I'm going to take care of. So if I paste, okay, let me get it done well before I add so that it doesn't show error. So I'm going to use backspace. Okay, so it's now in the same line. Okay, so I'm going to save this. So this is what I want to pick. So this line, just pick it exactly the way it is, up to new tutorial. And if you're getting it from our website, it simply means pick from here down to this new tutorial. That's what you're using. So once I get here now, I should be able to press this. So it's a complete straight line. So we are creating a new object tutorial that is coming from the class what? Tutorial. And it's going to be having the title to be, and the content is going to be or not to be. That is the question. And it's going to be having published date of the time zone, which is the current time. It's going to be using this class time zone to bring the current time, which is, that's what we say dot now. So if you press the enter key, it has created this. So once you create, to put it inside the database, what do? You simply say what? New underscore tutorial dot save. New underscore tutorial dot save. So the same name that you have here, that's what we are going to use. So you simply say new underscore tutorial dot what? Save, isn't it? So that's how you save. So with this now you have something.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Your VS Code.
Okay.
We are not seeing it fully.
Okay. Can you see it now?
I can, but not your console.
Okay, you're not seeing my console. Please, who is seeing my console here? Are you seeing my console? All of you? Are you seeing my console? But people here say they are seeing my console.
What's going on? Okay, maybe. Oh, sorry.
What's his name? Kasmi, are you seeing my console? Huh?
Yes, I can see it now. Sorry.
Okay, you can see it now. Okay, maybe it's from your arrangement.
Yes.
Okay. So now that I've saved that, if I now do this tutorial.object.all again, I should be able to see something, isn't it? So let's run this code again. So let's say now tutorial dot objects dot all. Okay, you can now see that we have our tutorial object and we have one. Can you see that? So we have something now. Before, when we ran it, we just got this empty query set. This is what we got the first time. But because we added something, we now have this. So that is how you add some content to your tutorial. And we now went further to, we can still read out everything that is inside the tutorial record. So please pardon me for this codes the way they are looking. We are going to work on it. So possibly when you look at it tomorrow, it will be easier for you to just pick out and use. So that's why I made another version in Notepad so that I can easily work on it. So I will simply pick out this. Okay, before I move forward, let me quickly create a super user so that instead of working on this, instead of continuing to work on shell, we can simply work from our back end. So to create super user, what do we do? Python manage.py, create super user. That's how we do that. So I'm going to get back to another console. Or I simply say Control-C to move out of this shell. Let me let me create another bash terminal. Okay. So I'm going to cd into online. Yeah, use a different bash terminal. It will be better for you. So I cd into online school. So now I'm going to use this command to create a super user. So I'm going to simply say what? Python manage.py create super user. So I'll say what? Python manage.py create super user. And you know how it works. It's going to ask you some questions. So you fill up the questions and you continue. So it's asking me what's my username. I'm going to say Austin. I normally use Augustine. So remind me please if I'm logging in and I forget. So my username is Austin. So my password is my email is d3oneo32@yahoo.com. My password is so you put in your password, put it 2 times. Okay, say my password is too similar, but do I want to continue using it? I say Y, which is yes. So it checks to see whether you're using a password that is easy for somebody to use. But this is a learning purpose, so I'm not interested in getting the password to be very difficult. So my super user is now created. So with that, we can get to the back end and continue our coding. Okay. So in order for you to see your tutorial from the admin section, it's always good that you go to your admin and register this tutorial. You want to see it. So go to your main, go to the admin.py in main and get this registered. So just pick out this code, admin.site register, which I'm going to pick out from here to make it much easier for me. So I'm going to pick this as a whole. Then I'll go to, this is our view. Can you see our admin.py under main? That's where you put it. So inside here, put this code so that when you get to your backend, you should be able to see tutorial so that you can be adding up things in tutorial from there. So I'm going to save by doing Control S. So with that said, I think my code should be able to run perfectly now. Okay. Okay. So you can also update your you can also update it as this, but let me quickly log in now and see what I've done so far. So this is what I have. It's still working perfectly. So I'm going to just go to /admin. So go to /admin so that you see whether the admin is there now. Okay, so my admin is there. So I'm going to log in. My login is simply Austin. My login is what? Austin. Then what's my password? I know my password. So I should be able to log in now. Okay, so I'm logged in and you can see I have the users and this is tutorial. Okay, so from here I can now be adding my my questions and everything. So if you click on tutorial now, if you click on tutorial, you can see you have your one object. So we're still gonna update this. Okay, so you can see to be and not to be, isn't it? That's the first one we added, to be and not to be. So you can save another or save and continue. So let me save another. Let me add another tutorial there. So let me say Java. I'm adding Java tutorial. You know that Java is an object-oriented programming language. Okay. So for dates, I'm gonna just click now and click today so that you fill in today and date. So I'm gonna click on save. So now I'm no longer having, you can see so I have tutorial 1 and tutorial 2. So if you click on tutorial 2, you see that it's Java. So from here now I can be adding instead of adding from the other side. So it's much more better for me. So once you get to the website again, it's always good that you can add up from here. So if I get back to my codes now, I can update my my admin in order to see this tutorial title and everything. If I want to see it exactly the way it is here. So I'm going to pick up this code. And instead of having my admin as what it was, as this very one, I'm going to replace it so that I can have more information on my backend. So if I do Control S to save this now, if I get back again, it's going to look different. So I'm going to refresh this now. See, you see, this has changed from tutorial title, date published, and tutorial content. So this is much more better now. So if I refresh, okay, to my VS Code, I'll go back now. Okay, so this is back to my VS Code. I simply went to the admin and added tutorial title, tutorial published, and tutorial content. So this very code I added now, if you get to our website, is there. This is it here. So why did I add it? I added it so that when I get back to my, if I click on any tutorial, I should be able to see the tutorial title exactly the way I wrote it there, date published and tutorial content. So that is what that update does. So with that said, you can now come to your model and add up this str. So if you add up str in your model, when we now get back to tutorial, instead of seeing tutorial object and tutorial object 2, we'll now see the actual titles. So that's what we're going to do. So let's update that so that we can see the actual title. So if I go down now inside my main models.py and I pick up this whole code and replace what I had before in my models, these my models. So if I now come here and Control R, Control V, replace now, okay, then I do Control S to save. So this is what I have now, Control S to save. So if I get back, it should look better than what it was before. So you can now see I'm seeing now Java and to be. So those are the two tutorials that I have. And if I click on any of them, I'll see their full details. Yeah, we are replacing. I just picked it and replaced everything. So with that said, we are good to go. And I think this will be the right place to stop so that everybody can be on the same page. So this is where we stopped. Okay, so that's where we're going to be stopping. So with this done now, anytime we want to add up any new tutorial, you can just come here and click on add. So let's say I want to add JavaScript or Python. So I click on add and I will just put Python. So date is today's date, time is now. So content, Python is a what kind of is a multi-purpose. You can use Python to do virtually everything. Multi-purpose Python is a multi-purpose high-level programming language. That's what Python is. So I'm gonna say save. Abi? So now if I click back on OK, you can see now I have 3 of them. So everything I'm gonna do, I can do now from my back end, and they will be appropriately done. So with that, we are gonna stop and let everybody follow up. We're gonna continue back later. Remember, everything you want is in Christ Jesus. The easiest way of success of being a born again. See you next time. Do anybody have any question? Ola, do you have question?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Thank you. So today's zone was very easy. So please follow up the codes. All the codes are already here on our website, tclassified.com blog. Then you will see Django Online School. We are going to change this in such a way that once you pick up the code, you don't need to edit much. Kashmir, make sure you do that. Okay, thank you. See you guys. See you when I see you. See you when I see you. Thank you. God bless you.